The next thing we're going to do is we're going to validate each field and check the validation if the entered value is correct or not. So to do that, we're going to add a dependency called validation. So let's go to our pom.xml and we're going to add Jakarta validation. Do we have that? So in here, we also need the Spring Boot validation. Do we have that? No. We're going to add that here. Spring Boot validation. Okay. So you can see how fast our development is. So let's reload project. There we go. Field not in use. To validate our contact, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to modify our contact model. In here, under model, we're going to open contact.java. So we already added the ID, such as this is already an ID. Next, we're going to add a validation for our first name. So we can use three annotations here. We can use not null, not blank, and not empty. So the difference between these three is that not blank checks if our field doesn't contain white spaces, it's empty, or is it null. For our case, we're going to use our annotation not blank and we're going to return name is mandatory. Okay, let me change this one. Name is, or first name must not be blank. Okay, so let's do that in each field. So for our last name, for address, okay, address must not be blank. For our email, in here we're going to use not blank, must not be blank, and we're going to add email annotation, which uses the Jakarta package. So as you can see, if we're going to use email, it will import Jakarta validation constraint, this one, and we're going to return email must be a valid email address, or must be valid. There we go, to make it short. And for our contact number, we're going to use pattern. So in here, instead of accepting every number in every letter in our number format, a format of contact number, we're going to use a regex. Yeah, which is equal to // so our contact number must start with +63 followed by a number or an integer of 10, so that makes it 13. If not, we're going to return a message must be valid in Philippines mobile number. Okay, that's good. Okay, and there we go. Let's remove this one. Okay, so far so good. Next, we're going to display this error message to our details page. So to do that, we've added a details errors earlier in this tutorial or workshop that will display the error in red, or a red division or danger in Bootstrap, and for our success message, which will return a success. So let me run this app. So before that, we're going to add an annotation valid for our web app. We're going to bind a result, binding result. We're going to use that, and let's return a result. Okay, so attribute, let's remove this model map here, don't need that one. So in here, if the result has an error, we're going to return to the details page, and also we're going to return an error message. So we're going to say add attribute, which is this is an error, and we're going to the result that get all errors, which we're going to return all the error message we've added in our contact. So if this one is not satisfied, it will store a message. If this line is not satisfied, or this field is not satisfied, it will compile each and every error in our result. And we're going to bind that in our web page. So this is errors, that one, else, and that one, contact repository. We're going to save the contact itself, and let's add a model map, or model that attribute successfully added. Okay, so far so good. So where are we going to define? Yeah, we need the model map model in here. So let's rerun this one, and let's see if it returns contact. Let's say sdf at gmail.com, and for contact, let's just say this one. So contact number must start with +63 and have 13 numbers. So what I'm going to do next is to modify our contact controller that will accommodate to our validation. Okay, let me fast forward this clip. So let's test our web app. So what we did in our add, we added the valid annotation here, and we're going to return a result, and we're going to check if inside this method, we're going to check if the service return an error message. If not, we're going to save the contact. Same goes with our update. So we check the errors. If not, we're going to go on with the update contact. And for our details, yeah, so that's it for add and update. So let's update this page. Let me just add a new one. Yes. sdf@gmail.com, and then this is the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let me update this one. So instead of sdf, let me change mark.json. Okay, update, and there we go. So sdf mark.json for our first name, and sdf for the last name. So let me go back to our h2 database. Let me reconnect this one. Test, connect, and select the data from contact table. So let's run this one. It will return the mark.json SDF, and there we go. Username is null. So in here, we've added the username field, which we're going to use later on in our Spring security.